Hi, this is Tria of trias2cents.com, and this is my second video showing how I control my student debt using simple Excel tools. So I've already created a video on tab 1 here. Tab 1 again is to give you an overall view of your student debt, how long it'll take you to pay off your loan, how much you should adjust your monthly payment by if you want to pay it off sooner. It answers those questions that'll help you devise a payoff strategy. For more details, please check out the video. In this video, we'll focus on tab 2, and tab 2 gets into the details and helps you track your progress on a monthly basis. And this is seriously a tab that I cannot do without. I mean, with every payment that I make against my student loans, this is the sheet that I update. All right, so we're ready to get started. So I always start by entering in basic loan information, a lot that can be found on your lender's website. And so we'll start by entering in the principal balance at the start of your journey. And I'll start with $30,000, but again, you would find it on your lender's website. The principal balance is the amount that you owe before interest has been added on. So then you want to enter in your interest rate. So for these purposes, I'll put 6% and I'll enter that in as a decimal. So 6% would be 0.06. So the interest rate is very important, of course, because it's used to calculate compounded interest. The principal balance at start is more motivational for me. I like to understand my starting point so I can see progress and so it can keep me motivated. I highly encourage you to do that, especially for those that have some of the higher student loan balances like myself. All right, so let's get started tracking on a monthly basis. So I, of course, set up the spreadsheet so that January was the starting month. And I highlighted in green the cells that I encourage you to edit on a monthly basis, or at least pay particular attention to. So for January, we need a starting point, so I need you to enter in your beginning balance. I also would need you to enter in the accrued interest that has accrued since your last payment. I need you to enter in what that last payment was and what the data was of that last payment. And I chose January because, again, it's the easiest month to start in, but feel free to start in whatever month where you're actually starting your journey. So because we're in March, I will enter in all of that key information into my starting month of March. So I'll enter in my beginning balance. So let's say I checked my balance on 3/27 and saw that there was $30,000 in my account, or $30,000 that I owe. My accrued interest, again from my lender's website, was $100. My monthly payment that I made on 3/27 was $300. And again, I paid it on 3/27. Now, because we're calculating interest on a daily basis, it's really important that you pay attention to the date of your payments, because what the spreadsheet will do is calculate interest from the date of your last payment. So what would make it the easiest is to enter in the date of your last payment, not today's date, not the date where you start your journey, but enter in the date of your last payment. So if I started my journey on 3/31, but my last payment was 3/27, this 3/27 is what I should enter in here so that my accrued interest calculation is the most accurate. So just to again reiterate everything, I checked my balance on 3/27, today's date, and saw that there was $30,000 in my account. I also saw my lender's website that $100 had accrued in interest. I made my payment on 3/27 of $300. Of that $300, $100 had been applied to interest because that's the amount that had accrued. And the rest of that $300 went to my principal balance, leaving me with an end of the month balance of $29,800. So you're seeing some really detailed, helpful information that really helps you see where your money is going and the impact if you adjust payments. So one thing you probably noticed is as I filled out information in March, it populated a lot of information for the remainder of the year. The beginning balance, of course, takes your end of the month balance from the previous month. The accrued interest takes into account your interest rate, and it takes into account the date of your last payment. And then it accrues on a daily basis. Your monthly payment, I just assume that you would make the same payment each month. If this is not the case, you can always change. So let's say in April, I pay $700 instead of $300. You can just enter that in. And let's say I don't pay it on 4/27. I apologize for all of the notes popping up. As a side note, I did include comments and notes if you had any questions. I don't know why it flashes like that, but it's to give definitions if you had any questions on the terms. All right, sorry for that distraction. So let's say that instead of paying on 4/27, I pay at the beginning of April. So I am going to say that I paid on 4/4 instead of 4/27. Feel free to overwrite these. What's most important is that we have the most accurate calculation. It would still take that $700, show what you applied to interest, and show what went to your principal balance, understanding that your loan only decreases as that principal decreases. And so that's it in a nutshell. The only other thing I want to draw your attention to is the blue summary box at the end. I think this is pretty cool as well, because it summarizes the amount that you paid for the year in total, and it breaks down how much was applied to interest versus principal. And these numbers here aren't too shocking, but in my personal situation, it was eye-opening. I have pretty high balance student loans, and for one of my loans that I'm not targeting just yet, the interest that I pay each year outweighs my principal, which that means that my student loan is not going down in that situation. So this really just helps you to understand at a high level how much is going toward interest and how much is going toward principal, so you can adjust your strategy if need be. So that's it in a nutshell. I also have, again, some important notes at the bottom for you to check out. I have some instructions at the top for those that are not able to see the video, but I hope that you find this as helpful as I do. And as always, feel free to email me or comment with questions or feedback. My email is tria@trias2cents.com. And as always, like or share if you found this video helpful. All right, thanks. Until next time, talk to you later.